Welcome to RevUP and Awaken. I'm your host, Mimi. Our current world is transitioning into a new phase. The old structure has broken down, and now a new foundation is being built. This realm is also purifying and transmuting the lower energy frequencies in order to bring forth a high vibratory experience so that our future can be lived on higher levels of consciousness. No longer will the lies and programs of a world that sought to chain the spirit be able to exist in this new realm of ours. We will be able to reach higher levels of potential that have never been seen in our current history, where our spirit can soar without restraint. This is part 2 of our conversation with Sarah Rebecca Vine, known as the Healer of Healers. Sarah's work as an empowerment coach and spiritual teacher has helped earth angels, star seeds, and light workers to succeed on course with their personal missions. Visit sarahrebeccavine.com, inspiritcoaching.co.uk, or sarah@earthangelsanctuary.com.
And it can be very challenging when you're feeling the world's pain, or you're picking up on stuff that you don't want to pick up. I've actually got a video in the Earth Angel group about where we are picking up the fear that's going on with the virus and with everything that happens in the world, and we may uncover, where we're picking up that energy just to release it for people, because it is a gift, because we know when someone's not right. We intuitively know, we can pick up, we can read between the lines, but it can also be quite a burden when we're literally just taking on everyone else's pain and energy and fears. We can't process that necessarily. I don't believe we're here to process that and having to deal with it ourselves. I don't normally watch television, but I was with a friend last night and I was watching I'm a Celebrity, and I was feeling it. Oh my gosh, and I'm like, why am I letting myself tune into feeling this? And I was totally there with them, and it's like, why do I do that?
You know what it is? It's an ability of ours. I mean, that's how we show compassion. That's how we're able to perceive compassion and bring it out into the world. Because if everybody was so detached emotionally, nobody would show any caring for one another.
Absolutely. And it is all about love and compassion and just loving each other, because some people go through such horror. It's heartbreaking what some people have to go through and what they have to experience. And to just hold that space and to just feel that love for them and just have that compassion is such a gift that we have. And that's what makes us human. I don't believe any human is innately born bad. I really don't. I think they have influences, they have things that happen to them personally, and also other influences of darker nature that influences people. But human nature really is kindness. If people are programmed, we don't care about the color of skin or different, if someone's male or female or any other gender that they want to describe it. We just love people. That's human nature. But it's only how we're programmed as we're grown up, as we're children, and what happens to us at nature is kindness, I believe, in love and compassion. So wouldn't the world be a beautiful place if everybody was in that nature? And we was programmed with love and compassion and how to meditate and just to accept each other and want to build each other up and want to see other people thrive and succeed and do well. What a wonderful world we would live in.
Well, that aspect of it has to be added into the educational system, because that's what grabs people at an early age and starts molding them according to what they're using as information that they're piling into their minds. So if they were able to get in through the heart and help them, meditate and understand the greater aspect of our lives, I think that would certainly help create more expanded levels of consciousness with all the young people that are coming up.
Absolutely, Miriam, absolutely. And it does start with that education. But once again, it's one of the things that's been hijacked. We're taught to sit there, to put a hand up if you want to go to the toilet or ask a question, to know the answers to everything. An answer is a closed off energy. A question is expansive energy. It's such a difference, and yet we're not taught to ask questions. No, don't ask questions. You just got to know the answer to everything. We are so programmed in that way. It's changing, and I believe in the future we will have that. We will have that, where it is, education to love and to meditate, and so teaching us all to thrive rather than what we've had. But remember, we're breaking down this system that has been around on this planet for a very long time. This is not a new thing that's happened in the last 50 years. This has been going on for years, years and years. So we are freeing the whole human race. And obviously on this planet, we did get to quite a high consciousness level, and then we had a fall. We had a drop in consciousness on the planet. So I've been trying to get back up to get to these higher states of consciousness on this planet. And that is why so many earth angels and light workers and people coming out of retirement and all over the different planets and dimensions come into Earth to help this shift, so we can speed up this process, because consciousness was dropped so low, it needed to come up. But when you look into anything like this, fantastic books I've got, Flower of Life, The Ancient Secret.
From Vala. Yes. Yes.
There's 83,000 sacred sites all over the planet, pyramids. I mean, you can see behind me Metatron's Cube. I done the Awakening the Illuminating Heart course in 2016, I believe it was. And it was like, to get to really, you need to start painting the Flower of Life. I do that I have the Flower of Life on me. From the Flower of Life, when you expand that, you get Metatron's Cube. We have a Merkaba. Everything in the universe is created within sacred geometry. And it's just the expansiveness, the levels that we can go to and bring in on this planet is just beautiful.
Well, that's what interesting, because I have that on my list of things to ask you. In terms of the sacred geometry, because I know you took a course through one of Drunvalo's educational systems about it was Awakening the Heart. Yes. And because I've been reading his books, the Ancient Flower of Life, and I've seen all his, seen his lectures on YouTube. And to me, when I think about the sacred geometry, to me, it connects to who and what we were, because we started out as energy. And I feel that what is being understood through sacred geometry is helping us to remember that energetic or original side of us.
Yes.
And that's what I get from it. Because, it's so funny, when I went to school and they were teaching us geometry, I kept on asking them, I said, isn't there something more to this? It doesn't make any sense what you're telling me, like measuring a side or an angle. I said, this doesn't make sense to me. There's something more to this. Of course, they didn't know.
we get told half of it.
Yeah.
And we get told the full truth of it. Yeah. With the sacred geometry, with the Flower of Life, Drunvalo, one of the videos he has, there's a mountain that's covered in snow. It's apart from, I think, for 2 weeks of the year, and they travelled there. They missed it. They got the time wrong the first time, and it's this pure white pyramid. There's nothing in it, just this white pyramid, but there's a Flower of Life etched on it. And the Flower of Life is universally known over the planet as the Flower of Life, and it starts off with a single circle, which then splits. So you have the two, and when you look at an egg, when an egg is fertilized, how it's round, it splits. Then it splits again, it splits again. When you look at how a baby is formed and you look at the Flower of Life, the Flower of Life is in everything, the sacred geometry, in the harmonics of music, in the how flowers and leaves, the dimensions. It is so beautiful and intrinsically linked with all of nature. And what I loved about the Flower of Life is because of the consciousness fall on the planet, I think ascended masters go back in time to put these different things like the pyramids, because no one knows where the pyramids come from.
Exactly, yeah.
There's speculation, but the specifics of the pyramids as well are so accurate.
Yes.
In the dimensions and when you look into that. All of these are awakening tools. They are here to help. So people that have visited them or different places over the planet is part of the awakening to help humanity, to help us remember who we really are and to have this awakening, because so we're going through the most exciting time ever in history on this planet right now. We're witnessing it in a human body and being here. And all these beautiful, I mean, I love them. I've painted quite a few. I've got 9 in this room that I'm sitting in at the moment with me. 8 of them that I've painted, and one of them that's on an angel Metatron that's holding them up. So I paint reminds me of home. It just takes me in that energy, and so I love being surrounded by them, and being and knowing that we are so much more than just this physical body. We are part of something so much greater.
Yes,
and it's everywhere. Although it's hidden in plain sight, some of the stuff, the darker stuff, but also the good stuff, the light stuff, the beauty is also there for us to see if we have the eyes to see it as well.
I could spend hours talking and reading about Drunvalo. I love his work. I mean, I can't. I read the Serpent of Light, which was absolutely fascinating, and how he went around to different indigenous tribes and helped to trigger the sacred grids. It's amazing. It really is. I mean, it's truly a shamanic journey that he's on.
Well, yeah,
he's like awakening the entire earth. That's what he's doing.
And there are so many teachers out there that you're just like, where would we be without you?
I know.
I know. They have done phenomenal work. I mean, Greg Braden is someone that I absolutely love and adore as well. Joe Dispenza, there's Bruce Lipton. But I know Greg Braden, he's travelled all over. I mean, there's so many teachers. And it's like having so much gratitude and appreciation for these amazing beings that are on the planet, that are leading the way, but also knowing that what we see in them is within us as well.
Yes. Well, they're awakening that information in us to remember.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it's a beautiful dance of life, and being here it's incredibly challenging, but it's also, we are really witnessing it in real time and seeing it as we're being here. And it's looking after ourselves first and foremost, filling ourselves up first, that self-care, dealing with stuff, because we're having a lot of people's shadow stuff come up at the moment as well.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's good. We just need to shine a light on it. We just need to be okay in accepting what comes up. We all have this. There's no escaping it. And it is just being able to acknowledge, to get help from people that can help and support you, but just to be able to go through this process, because it's like a purging a little bit. As things come up and we can let that go, we can fill with more light and more love, and more love for ourselves as well. I believe it's totally a journey with loving and accepting and forgiving ourselves, because none of us are perfect. We've all made mistakes. We've all done things that we maybe rather not have, or and regrets and things that we would have done different. We've all done that. That's okay, because it's having that forgiveness. And some people think, especially could be in some religions, like there's a judging God who's like, we're going to be judged on Judgment Day, or we're going to go to heaven or hell, depending on how we've lived our life on earth. One, I believe heaven and hell are both on earth.
Exactly.
And 2, we are our own judge. We don't, when we go home, because I believe we just go home. We don't die as such. We just go home. We just transition from this form into our spirit form. There's no God there that's going to judge us, and you've been a bad person and you didn't do that. There's none of that. We are our own judges.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, let's start forgiving ourselves in this lifetime, why we're in this human body, and accepting ourselves and forgiving stuff that may have happened in the past or how we've been, because we can always start afresh. We get to choose. And it does start with loving and accepting and forgiving ourselves, and recognizing that when we look at other people, I mean, there's some bad people on this planet, but I don't hate anyone. Because if I'm hating on anyone, even people that I know that have done some bad things, what I'm actually doing is hating an aspect of myself. So it's to really recognize what we're seeing in others, that when we're judging them, We're actually judging an aspect of ourselves, and it's not always easy. It's a journey, as with anything like that, to get to that place of acceptance. We haven't got to like someone. We haven't got to poke up with their behavior. We haven't got to make what they've done acceptable, especially if it's not. But we can still stay in that place of detachment and just love. And that keeps our vibration really high, and it's challenging because it can be a bit up and down for many people.
Right. And people don't realize everybody has had their own experiences in life. They don't know where a person's been in their lifetime. And they can come forward with certain things that they may have fears about, or may feel they need to protect themselves from. But there are people who tend to personalize it and think that, it has to do with them, but it has nothing to do with them. It has to do with one's experience. And I think that's what everybody needs to recognize nowadays.
We can't, we can't judge anyone unless we've walked a mile in their shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
Goes, and that is absolutely true, because you just don't know what goes on in here for people. I mean, what goes on in here can be a living hell for some people.
Oh yes.
And that is, I mean, there's a guy called Michael Singer who's fantastic. He wrote a book called The Untethered Soul, and it's about the voice in our heads. And so you've just got to step back. You're not that voice in your head. We have that nice voice, and then we have that bad voice, and it doesn't stop talking, and it can drive people mad. And it's to accept that that's not really who we are. We need to come back from it and observe that. And it is very much an inner journey. I think what we're living here, obviously we have all the outer and what's going on the planet, but it's also what's going on within inside of us. We've all had different experiences and different things that we've had to go through. So that's where the compassion comes in, and just love and acceptance from someone, because who are we to judge? If we're judging anyone, we're judging ourselves. Not our job, God's job. That's their job, not our job to judge anyone, which we also know it's not God's job, it's because it's their own job. So it is a fine line sometimes, and once again, you've got to forgive yourself. I'll be honest, I can't always do that, and and not go into that judgment even now. And I've done a lot of work myself, and that's okay, because we can recognize it, we can let it go, bringing that forgiveness and that self-love. It's a journey for all of us here on the planet, and it's an interesting one, and it is just having that acceptance of all beings. We're all in this together, and let's just keep doing what we can to feel good within us, to fill ourselves up, to have this positive ripple effect on the planet, because it is happening. It is happening. Also, we're not alone. There's so many wonderful people that are doing this as well, and it all adds up.
What do you see coming through this ascension process? I mean, what do you see up ahead for everybody, for the world? When I go into it, I don't always see things, but it's a sort of the feeling place, and it is so much lighter for one. But I just see people living from their heart space, helping each other, children being everyone's children, where they're free to be kids and to play and to enjoy their childhoods, because we get one childhood, as we all know, and people, organic food, looking after the land. But I also see us going on different planets as well. I see space travel. I don't see us restricting here on planet Earth. I don't see us restricting here on planet Earth, but I do see less people, and that could be partly because we colonize different places, because that is out there. I mean, we know there is anti-gravity machines anyway. There's things that are medibeds that scan your body and fix most of what's wrong with you. Exactly.
The technology, I know a fraction of probably what there is to know, is phenomenal. What is out there, the free energy, electricity, we shouldn't happen to be using the Earth's resources. There's so much free energy out there for all of us. So,
and paying for it.
But the need for all these pills and pharmaceutical drugs, we don't need that. Mother Nature gives us everything that we need. So I see it being very holistic, very loving, the communities, but I see space travel. I see the technology, but just in harmony with Mother Earth. It just seems like a really clean, really light, really loving way of living. But so yeah, I do see us on other planets as well.
Now, is that going to be like a process that goes on for several years, developing and opening, expanding us?
And I don't think any of that's going to happen like soon.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, because we are going through on a planet, and I think once we're in there's going to be a lot of disclosure that's going to come. And I mean, there's a lot of people, and you've got just to accept them, that don't want to wake up.
Yeah.
That want to stay where they are, and that's okay. But anyone that doesn't choose to go into the fifth dimension, they will be going to another 3D planet and another universe. They won't stay here. So that is their free will choice. There will be some, obviously we've got a lot of bad people on the planet. We know this. We don't need to go into specifics around that, but there's a lot of bad, evil people. And karma, we have the law of karma. So once again, we're not here, we don't have to judge them ourselves, because the law of karma takes care of all of these bad people and bad individuals that have acted in very evil ways. So, and they'll be gone. Those bad, lower vibrate, they won't be here. But so it's not for us to judge them, because that's karma. That is the law of karma and universal order. So I just think we're going to have a lot of disclosure that's going to come up, and we're going to need to go into a lot of healing. And that's once again when us as light workers, Earth angels, we really need to be there for each other to help through this. It's going to be a real healing process, and then things will start to come out, the free energy, the good drugs, the good things to help us. So it's not ever going to be a massive shift. It's not going to obviously happen like that. It's going to be that process, but I think we've still got to get over a little bit of a hump first before it's going to start, and that is when we really need to be there for our brothers and sisters.
Yeah, I mean, I keep on wishing it would just like get over there because it has been very intense, having to go through this process.
Incredibly intense, and I've been feeling it as well. It is very intense. Obviously people can get a lot of different ascension symptoms as well. It is an intense time, because unfortunately it's shining a light on us as well individually, and anything that's not been resolved we've still got to work through. So it's doing that inner work, and obviously dealing with what's going on in the outer as well, so that we're not alone in any of it. And to help people come through this process, and to know that it's going to be worth it, and that we will get through the other side. And so there's so many good people. There's so many. I mean, there's so much appreciation for all the light workers out there putting themselves out there on the line. There's a censoring that's going on and all kinds of things at the moment.
Yes.
And there's many that have lost their lives as well, unfortunately, in this battle. But I don't believe we die anyway. We just go home. Yeah. So it's having, I think for everyone, for all of your listeners, it's to have that higher faith, that belief in that higher power, whether you call that higher power God or the universe, or just knowing that there is something higher, there is divine order. And having that faith and knowing that although it can all seem bleak and dark, that we are having a shift. We have already won. The light has already won. No matter what happens now, we have still already won. For us as individuals to really know that, and to allow what comes up within us to come up and come out, and to seek the support. I mean, the Soul Circle that I run is a beautiful little group. There's different series of different calls, all clearing calls. We clear the energy around people that have already done, and we have beautiful little journey calls where we just check in with everyone every week, and just to help as stuff comes up, so we can support each other. But there's loads of other people out there as well. It's for people to go with, to people that they resonate with, that feels right, to help them if they need some help, and if they're in that good place, helping others, passing it on, because we say we are all in this together.
Right. Thank you so much, Sarah, for speaking to us today on RevUP, and just giving a hopeful future perspective, because so many people are just feeling so low and feel like it's a lost cause at this point. But I think what we're feeling is the fact that things are breaking down and changes is coming, and and new structuring is going to be taking place. So that's what people are feeling.
Yes, definitely so. And things are definitely breaking down 100%, and things are coming to light, and there's going to be some things that come out that's going to shock people and people ain't going to like to see. It's going to bring up stuff. It's just not being scared of what comes up, the emotions, not being scared of what we hear in here as well, what we can say to ourselves and the thoughts that we have, and just allowing them to pass. So meditation, support from other people, and to know that it is all part of a bigger picture. I mean, I've always been blessed. I've always been able to go straight to the big picture and see things. Sometimes I can get caught in that I can't see the wood for the trees sort of thing. But ultimately, when getting in the heart space, it's, you can see the bigger picture with all of it. And for everyone also to know that no matter where they are or how they may be feeling, they make a huge difference on this planet, each and every one of us. Because some people think, God, I'm not making no difference, little old me. And you have absolutely no idea the difference that we can make, the how we can help people without even realizing it. So it's there's so much to feel hopeful for. And if people are struggling, reach out, find people that can help and support them. There is an abundance of free things, resources out there. I have some in my Earth Angel group, which I've mentioned, the replays that we've done on different lives, which I normally list what we've covered in there. And there's so many amazing people out there as well that have so many things that can help people with. It's just finding the right teacher and the right person to help you, and the right support group and the right tribe to help you with moving forward. So I keep repeating this, but we are all in this together. All of us. So we know it's not about the I, it's about the we.
So we are all more than what we've been led to believe. We are more than the physical form we see each day reflected in a mirror or passing window. To us, that's all there is. What if there's a lot more to us, to our existence, than we've been taught? Until next time, keep your vibrations high and your awareness open, and we'll see you soon on RevUP and Awaken.